Hi there. You may notice that behind me is not the kitchen where I've been recording, and that's because I have actually successfully cleaned off my desk. Now, the rest of this room is not there yet, but this is a major step forward. I thought I was recording, and I wasn't. So this is take two. For the sake of recording, I have turned off the air conditioner, which is just above my desk to this side, and I also have shut off the fan that's behind me. And it is hot. I think it's about 35, 36 degrees in the apartment right now. I live in an old building that is completely uninsulated, which means it just heats up like an oven in the summertime, and it's quite cold in the winter. It's not, with the fan, it's not so bad, but if I have a fan blowing, that means there's a lot of background noise, which compromises the audio quality and actually gives me wind noise with the mic. So I've shut that off. But yeah, so without the aircon and without the fan, I'm dripping with sweat, and I apologize for that. One thing that you'll see often in the summertime in Japan, people carry around things that kind of look like handkerchiefs, but they're really just little towels. And one of the primary functions of these is keeping a little bit drier. But you'll see me with this a few times during this video. I apologize that this video has taken so long. It wasn't intended, but it's been a weird month or so since I quit the job. I've been doing a lot of things. I've been teaching some private lessons, getting that going more and more. And I have started working in earnest on a writing project, which you may have heard about if you're on the Patreon watching this. I've already posted about it there, and I'll be making a separate video for that I'll be putting on my YouTube channel, so stay tuned for that. Part of the motivation that I have for, quitting that English teaching job at the school that was extraordinarily stressful and did really bad, like dangerously bad things with my depression is, and the whole thing actually, this video series and my Patreon, they're called Focus Shift, because I'm trying to shift my focus back to creative work, which is not easy. And it's not just one kind of thing either, it's not like I'm gonna spend the rest of my life painting custom surfboards. No, some people have that kind of focus. I don't. I do photography and I write. And right now, kind of figuring some things out with photography. But my biggest creative urge right now is to write. I've always written, short personal essays, things like that. Problem is that doesn't really pay much. It doesn't really pay anything because I just put them on my blog for free. But I have in the bowels of my computer piles of notes, rough draft fragments, all kinds of things that do kind of fall into different categories, each of which will hopefully eventually be a book. And the one that I have decided to tackle first is a travel book. It's kind of a weird choice for me. I kind of resisted getting going with this project for a while because I don't like travel books for the most part. It's not that they don't have their value, but the kind of books that we take with us when we visit a new country that tell us about how to get around and recommend places to visit and all that. It just doesn't fit the way that I like to travel. I like to wander around. I like to get lost. I like to navigate by all kinds of arbitrary means. I don't like going to the kind of travel hotspots. I don't like tourist traps. I avoid them as best I can. But there is an alternate philosophy to how I travel. It's something that I've developed over the years, but it's something I could have really benefited from having kind of explained to me, spelled out much earlier in my life. So basically, the kind of book that I wish I'd had when I started traveling internationally, when I first came to Japan. That's the kind of book that I wish I had, but I didn't because it didn't exist, so now I'm making it. Because I think if we can create things that are truly of value for ourselves, there's going to be other people in the world who also find value in those things. So I do think that there is real value in what I'm trying to create here. Pardon me. And it's been a while since I really focused hard on any kind of writing project. The last time was my, I guess it was like 2020? Been a few years. When I launched my website Somewhere in Japan, which is something I want to get back to with, blogging about Japan again. But that was minimum 2 posts a week every week for an entire year. Worked out that year to like 105 posts in total. And I did it. Some of the posts turned out quite well. Some of them were not good. But, I learned a lot through that process. There's a big difference between trying to write a 50,000 word book as compared to, it's very different from trying to write a 500 word blog post. But the thing that's similar between the two is that you have to sit down and write. And what I've been trying to do over the last few days as I'm trying to get my daily writing habit going is to sit down in the morning, to start writing, write until I kind of start to lose focus, then I run some errands, ride my bike, do whatever, and then throughout the day have a couple more blocks, and by the end of the day I'm usually able so far to write between 1,000 and 2,000 words for the book. Now if I can average 2,000 words a day for a total of 30 days, that means in a month I can get 60,000 words, which then I can edit down from, start doing rewriting and stuff like that. And in my experience, the rewriting, the editing, that's often the more difficult part. And so I want to get the initial, the first draft out, done, get the bones of the thing together as quickly as I can. Not in a rushed kind of way. I want to make sure that this is good, but your first draft is always going to have plenty of things wrong with it. There's a great piece that I need to reread actually, but it's by Anne Lamott, and it's called Shitty First Drafts. And it's great. It's about just dealing with the fact of life that our first drafts are not going to be good necessarily. They're probably not going to be, and that's fine. Nobody writes a perfect first draft. But I'm finding that I'm enjoying the writing even when it's going really badly. I like the challenge. And one nice thing about writing nonfiction is that there's a lot of, chapters, subchapters, a lot of different topics. You can do everything out of order. And if you get stuck writing one section, you can skip to a different section where there's something I can write down about this. Get a few sentences here, get a few sentences there, get maybe 3 paragraphs, this one's coming together. And by the end of the day, you've upped your word count by a couple thousand words. You haven't finished any section probably, but you're getting measurably closer to the finished product. And that's very satisfying. And honestly, it's a really good workout for your brain. And by the end of the day, I find that I'm better able to relax because I worked my brain hard during the day doing the writing. I say it's fun. It's hellish. It's both. If you're a writer, you probably know what I'm talking about. And so other work on the side, that's kind of coming together. But the biggest thing right now is this book, and I'm excited to be working on it, and I'm very encouraged by the response I've already gotten from people about the book. Now, if you're seeing this video and you don't know about the book, you can read about it at davidwroteabook.com, where I also have a pre-sale going where for $5 or more, you can choose, but a minimum of $5, you can pre-purchase the book and the audiobook, which I'm aiming to have everything done and out by the beginning of the second quarter, end of first quarter 2025. Now, I'm hoping I can get it done sooner than that. I'm hoping that by the end of September, I can have the bulk of the draft done, which sounds like a lot of work. It is a lot of work, but like I say, I want to get the bones of it together soon, so that then I can work on making it better. Because the structure is basically there. I know what I want to say. Now I just got to put all the words together. And then afterwards, I'll make them pretty. But I want to make sure that I give myself enough time to edit, to rewrite as necessary, and also to begin to shop the book around to publishers. Now, my basic assumption when I started this is that I would end up self-publishing and also recording the audiobook myself. But if I can get a traditional publisher involved, which means I can get a proper editor, I can get the better, promotional tools, and distribution is a lot easier if somebody else does everything for you. I'd say there's a pretty good chance I'll end up self-publishing anyway, but I'll at least, shop it around to different publishers and see if I can get any nibbles. I will at least try to see if anybody's interested in terms of traditional publishers. Because why not? There's a decent chance it would work out better for me that way, but I do believe in this project regardless, even if I am self-publishing it. Okay, and I'm gonna wrap this up. I am dying in this heat, and you can thank the heat for the brevity today. Thank you for being here. If you're on the Patreon especially, thank you very much. If you're on YouTube, please subscribe, and I will be back soon with another one of these videos, and a video specifically about my travel book, which I am excited about. Thanks. Oh, and one more thing. Please hit me up with your questions. I make these videos, and sometimes, like right now, I'm quite unfocused, and I just end up babbling. And I would much rather have some structure, and that's easier to accomplish if I have questions from you. Things, what do you want to know? Topics you'd like me to cover, things like that. So yeah, that's it. Thank you. Thanks again. Bye.